Hello, hello. It is Wednesday. Let's get our Wednesday started. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's start booping that screen, sharing the live out. See if we can have some conversations today. Let's get this going. Send your daily heart me's like Trucker T just did. Thank you, Trucker T. Appreciate you. Thank you, Becca. You guys, welcome in. How are you guys doing today? There's a Sim. Hi, Sim. Ugh. Alrighty. Hi, hello. What's going on in the news besides bullshit? I'm not asking you to stop supporting him. Your name is a whole problem, though. It's had a gnat fly at my face. You love the sound of my voice when you're bitching. That's weird. But I mean, I don't kink shame, I just kink ask why. So that's fine. You know what's wrong with your name. Stop. What does immersed mean? Like deeply absorbed into? Like I'm very, very much into reading about politics in this modern climate specifically. You guys, there's 110 people in here. Hello, hello. It is, hi, Illusion. It is Wednesday. Let's try and have some conversations today. In order to do that, we need to boop that screen up to 2,000 likes. Share the live out if you haven't. And if you have not done your daily art me, please do so. I also have the little roses up there that helps boost us onto the algorithm to see if we can have some legitimate conversations with actual sourced backing behind it. That would be great. If not, it usually just ends up with me being yelled at. I'm not therapy for you. Therapy is great. I advise you to do that. That is not me. I'm not a licensed therapist and I charge for you to yell at the wall. So that's not something that we do here. Hi, 13 Dot. Yep, Home Depot's raising prices. The Target CEO is stepping down because of falling profit. Are we great yet? Are we great yet? The cost of beef is more than the federal minimum wage. Are we great? We're doing amazing. Taylor, how? How are we doing amazing? In what way? He now wants to go through the museums that actually talk about the fact that slavery was bad, right? Mm, that sounds good. Listen, you don't have to judge history. You just have to accept history. We had slavery. Slavery was bad. That's just an easy thing. How would I change them? Which flaws? Which flaws do you want to talk about? And again, this would be my personal opinion. I'm not a politician. My goal is harm reduction and progression for the American people, especially the middle and lower class. And that's not what we're seeing from this administration. He does not care about people. He cares about himself and people with money. No, that's not why. Nanya, you can come up and talk about that if we hit 2,000 likes. That is not why. People didn't want to forget that history. Those are monuments. That's not history, right? We can still talk about the history of slavery. We have museums on the history of slavery. We have history books about the history of slavery that aren't monuments. Monuments in and of themselves, and when they were commissioned and built, were meant to like fawn over, right? And say, look at these heroes that we had in the Civil War. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. Maybe if you took the plaque down and put up a different plaque, like this person owned this many slaves and he had this ideology with one of his terrible quotes for what he thought he could see in the society, sure, I'd believe you, but that's not what we're seeing. That's not what those monuments were commissioned and built for. Your party, what's my party? See, this is what you guys do is you like to argue with a cardboard cutout of a Democratic liberal. That's not who I am. I am neither a liberal nor a Democrat. Yes, I have only voted Democrat except for when it comes to judge retainment in my local elections. I have voted to retain judges. That means keep them that are conservatives or that are Republicans, but I myself am not a Democrat. I am an independent because in my state, I get the privilege of having, when you're an independent, they will send you both the Republican primary ballot and the Democratic primary ballot. So then I get to choose. I can only vote on one, obviously, but I get to choose, do I want to help with the Democratic primary or do I want to influence the Republican primary? I'm allowed to do that if I'm registered as an independent. Gives me that option. I am not a Democrat. We don't have a leader. The Democrats are not doing well, but neither is your party. Neither is your president. Oh, I did not vote Jill Stein, Rubin. Absolutely not. She is a Russian agent, a political cicada. Absolutely not. I did not vote Jill Stein. I voted for Kamala Harris. But I don't relitigate the election because she lost. Why are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Hello.
Hi, how are you today, Raymond?
Good.
Good. What do you want to talk about today?
I don't know what's going on.
How'd you feel about the Trump-Putin meeting, I guess?
I don't know. I think when you can bring all those leaders in, regardless of why they came, I think there's only upside to that because it looks
Sure,
like they're
I meant the one he did before that, not Monday, but the Friday meeting with Putin.
Oh, that was fine. What was wrong with it?
What did we get out of it?
Well, actually, what we got, they all came. The UE leaders and Zelensky came to the White House.
Raymond, I need you to focus. The EU leaders that came to support Zelensky was on Monday. I am talking about the Trump.
Nothing came out of it on Friday. It was just a meeting. Yeah.
Okay, why did they not take any questions?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't take any questions. I don't know if it was because he doesn't speak the best English and they have to translate it. Who knows?
They have translators for that.
But I don't think there was anything to report. That's why they probably didn't have a. They didn't have.
Why did Putin speak first when we're the host country?
I don't know. Does it really matter?
Yeah, actually, it does. Like, what did we get out of that versus what did Putin get out of that?
Well, don't they? The White House reported yesterday that they are trying to schedule a meeting right now with Putin, Zelensky, and Trump.
Correct. And what did the BBC report today?
I don't know what they report.
The Kremlin plays down Zelensky talks as Trump warns Putin may not want to make a deal. So the Kremlin is already coming out and saying that if they do a meeting, they would like to do it in Moscow, which we all know Zelensky is not going to meet in Moscow.
Well, they have to put the details together, but we're a lot farther along than I think we've ever been. So
in what way? What progression have we seen to ending the war? Because the day that Zelensky flew in, Russia attacked Ukraine again and unalived 14 people.
Of course he did. It's politics. He's trying to force Zelensky to cave in, and Zelensky's not going to cave in right away. So, and
why does he have to cave in at all?
Well, he doesn't have to do anything.
Did Russia attack a sovereign nation?
Of course they did.
Okay, so what should be the solution then to get them out?
Well, the only solution that I think, if we don't want to go the peace route and keep trying this, is to NATO will be ground forces will have to go in and fight Russia.
Well, I would hope. I mean, I'm sure you don't want that. I don't want that, right? That's not something I want. I would like Russia to leave. I would like to do that without ceding land because I don't think they should have to cede any land. They are a sovereign nation. I don't understand this idea that if you attack a country, and I'm not saying you're saying this, but if you attack a country that you get to keep a little bit of it, and then that's a solution to peace.
Yeah, I just don't think Putin's gonna, where he took over some of that territory and some of, Russian soldiers died. I don't think he's gonna give that up so easy. So I think they're both gonna have to.
But that to me means that I don't see where we're gonna get an end to this war. I don't see how Trump's going to foster this.
Well, the problem is if the money dries up, and I know there's a Budapest Amendment, the Budapest Agreement and all that, but if the money starts to dry up, they're putting pressure on him too because they don't want this war to go forever because it costs a lot to fund this.
It's a loan.
I don't know it's all alone, but we can
It
go
is a
with it.
loan.
Well, that's why we did the mineral deal so we can get some of the money back that way.
Right, I agree. Yes, absolutely. But the problem is that what Ukraine wants, right, is they want military assurities along with that. They don't have a problem. I know. Why can't you, Ari? I need you. Is that we would like to use their minerals as a way to kind of get back some of the money that we've been loaning to them, and that's fine. But Ukraine, on the other hand, right, it isn't money, right? It's minerals. It's actual raw product, not money. But Ukraine wants to make sure that if Russia goes back on a ceasefire or attacks again, that we are going to do what we've been doing and help keep pushing them back. We were doing such a good job when we were helping to fund Ukraine of pushing Russia back. And the problem is that like Trump is kind of like pussyfooting around that. It doesn't want to actually say like, yes, we will come support you, but he wants the minerals. And so it's like, we can't, like, what do we do here? The only thing we can do is keep supporting Ukraine, but Trump keeps making it seem like it's Ukraine's fault. He literally said recently a quote to the effect of saying, you don't pick on a country like 5 times your size or something. Like Ukraine didn't pick on them. Russia started this.
No, and I get it. It's an unfortunate situation, and I think in his mind, yeah, he doesn't care if Ukraine loses some land. I believe Donald doesn't care about that. He just wants the war to end. So now that's where Zelensky's got to figure out how much more, unalivings he wants for his soldiers, for his people, and Russia does too. And Russia, I got to give Biden a good credit for one thing. With the sanctions that are on there and which were on there, Russia's economy is not all that great. So we could
I
keep
agree.
we could keep this. You're right. We could keep this going on and weaken them even more, and they lose their unaliving men. So we could go that route. Problem is, a lot of more Ukraine people are going to be murdered. So I don't know if that's what we want to do.
Right, and I understand that, but I guess the issue I have is that when we frame these conversations, it's always as if Zelensky is making this choice to have his people be unalived when that's not the choice he's making. They were living their lives in Ukraine when Russia invaded them. Like this is not Ukraine's fault. Like I can't somebody comes and punches me in the face and I start punching back. I don't understand why I'm getting the fucking fault for it when they started it.
Yeah, and you got to put blame on both presidents because remember Ukraine just was allowed to use those special weapons towards the end of Biden's presidency. So they weren't given full throttle to do what they wanted through the last 3 years either. So it's a lot. It's Biden's fault. It's Trump's fault because they're only sending certain weapons. They're not sending enough to keep Russia totally at bay. It's kind
Sure.
of unfair to Ukraine a little bit.
And I wouldn't say that that's a presidential fault specifically. I would say that that's a Congress fault, right? Because we know that Congress is the one who approves these things. So that would be on them what they choose to approve. We also know that Hegseth attempted to stop 2 separate like weapons packages. He stopped them and got caught doing that and then later released them to Ukraine. So like there's a lot of shit going on in this administration in particular that is happening, and I just don't. I was in Facts Still Matter this morning and listening to them kind of go through Trump's connections to Russia again, that whole thing, and it's just I don't understand why he bends to him, why he's citing him in way of getting rid of mail-in voting. Why are you listening to what Putin is saying about elections? That man has not had a legitimate election ever.
Well, he's always wanted to get the mail-in ballots done, so who knows what's going to come
But
of
then why
that.
does he vote by mail?
I didn't vote by mail.
No, why does he? He did.
I don't know. I saw him go that day. Did he vote by mail? That I thought he went with
No,
Milana.
he voted by mail. He did that for a presser, but even when they reported that story on his presser of like being at the ballot box, like he voted by mail in 2024. Russia also, like Adi pointed out, Russia also has mail-in voting. But my biggest issue is the fact that in a essence of putting an executive order forth to try and affect unconstitutionally the way that elections are run by the states in the United States, right? This is unconstitutional anyway. But who he's citing for his reasonings for doing it is because Putin gave him the rubber stamp to do so. That's troubling to me.
Well, we'll see what happens on that. I mean, the gerrymandering's going on, the voting. But back to the war, real quick. You don't think? I mean, you don't think that was a good sign that all of them were there, all of them were trying to participate in trying to do something to stop this war? I
Why
mean,
did
that.
they say they were coming?
I mean, were they to support behind Zelensky? That's fine.
Yeah, why?
What, because of the last time in the Oval Office?
Yeah, that didn't go very well, did it?
No, it didn't. It
Right.
went pretty good. Now they were all making jokes about it. Little.
Sure, because they were there to support Zelensky, though. Like, I don't, this idea that, like, Trump brought them in, I don't like, because that's not what happened. They all, some of them even, like, I think the one in Australia, like, canceled plans last minute so that they could show up to this meeting because they were trying to support Zelensky to make sure he wasn't getting bullied and getting called out for something that he's not doing. He did not start this war. He's trying to protect his people.
And there were, if you notice, the guy who's in charge of NATO said that they've gotten to this point. It didn't. This is that this was a good thing that Trump was doing. Like three of them said that, so they were all complimenting on how this was starting to shape up. And
Sure.
so there's you guys
I'm
just got
not
to give
saying
it.
talks are bad, Raymond. I'm not in any way. I'm not saying that it's bad that we're having talks. I don't think having Putin in the United States was a good thing. I don't think that helped anything. But I'm just not seeing. I'm not seeing where we're getting progression that's going to be beneficial for Ukraine.
You think Putin really wanted to come on American soil? He probably felt like shit to come
Yes,
on
yes.
American
No,
soil.
yes, he absolutely did. Yeah. That's a big victory for him when he knows he can't step foot in other countries because he has an arrest warrant out for him by the ICJ for committing crimes against humanity, violating human rights. Yeah, it's a big deal that he can come to one of the most powerful nations in the world, if not the most powerful, and get the red carpet rolled out for him by our Marines and the president of our country clapping for him as he walks up. Yeah, I think he wanted that.
Well, I don't know. To stop a war, sometimes you got to do a lot of things, and we'll just see how this works out.
Again, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. We're not seeing anything. We're not going to see anything. Like they're going to want him to do appeasement, and I think that that's wrong. It didn't work in World War II. It's not going to fucking work now. Like I don't know. I don't see where this is going to be beneficial for Ukraine, which is who I'm worried about.
And I don't know if the UAE. I don't know how much money the UAE just because I think they're trying to agree on another package for Ukraine too. But what happens if the UAE doesn't want to give as much money either, like us? You know what I mean? So it puts Ukraine in a tough position because if he's not getting the funding, what is he going to do? He has to almost give up, right?
No, he can keep fighting, but it will cause Russia to probably gain a lot more ground. Are you talking about the EU? Is that who you mean?
Yeah, I know they're trying to put a package deal together because
Uh-huh.
remember when they do all this, when they're protected Ukraine and we have this peace agreement, someone like I guess Trump said no U.S. soldiers will be involved in the peacekeeping. But this is a big thing they have to peacekeep now to make sure Russia doesn't advance anymore. So it's going to be a whole process, you know.
Right. Well, the EU, as far as I've seen, countries within the EU have been coming out and basically saying they're going to keep supporting Ukraine. I have not seen anywhere where they're not. So I think, if anything, the only ones touting that they might not is Trump. And I think that's the issue. And what Trump has now done is instead of directly sending weaponry and stuff to Ukraine directly, he thinks he's got some get out of jail free card by doing it through the EU. So third party, he has the EU buy the weapons from us, and then the EU sends it to Ukraine.
That's not the worst idea actually.
I just don't see the point because it feels like we're just profiting off of war now and including a middleman that doesn't need to be there.
Well, this way they can not sanction, but they can give them what they feel they need, during the months because I mean they're getting a lot of funding. Don't forget they're getting tons of funding. It's just how it's being put over there.
It's weapons. It's not like suitcases of money.
And also there's a big business part of this. Ukraine wants to do business with the United States. Russia wants to do business with the United States. So there's a lot of business deals on the table, I'm sure, out of this peace deal too. That for the minerals, and then I think Russia wants some of the mineral rights, or they want to be able to get some of the minerals from Ukraine.
Right.
So
That to me, that's an issue. That is extorting a country. out of their resources because of war. Like, I don't know why we cannot correlate what Putin is doing with what happened in World War II, or like I don't understand why we can't see the parallels.
I mean, I don't know. The only other option is for us to engage in a war with them, and I don't think we're ready to do that.
Why is that the only other option?
Yeah.
Well, we could.
Don't need to.
I guess we could just let it continue and just keep giving Ukraine the weapons and put more sanctions on Russia.
That was working.
Yes.
You know, he did put 50% on Pakistan to block them from buying Russian oil. So he is trying to squeeze Russia a little bit. Trump is.
No, that's just him being mad at Pakistan. That's not him.
No, they're buying Russian oil. He wanted to stop.
That's not like.
No, I know. It's a backwards way of putting something on Pakistan because they're buying the Russian oil. I agree with you a little bit on that.
Like, the thing is we knew what was working, and supporting Ukraine was working. Like, they were conscripting prisoners in Russia. They were using tanks from the 80s. Like, this is not India, not Pakistan, was buying oil. But we knew that we were pushing them back and like picking at their military strength, right? Like, we knew that. So I don't know why we would change up what was already working. Why? Because it had Biden's name attached to it? Like, I don't care.
I mean, I think if Zelensky came by himself the other day and that was it, I think it wouldn't be looking as good. But when you had all those EU leaders, I think it did show some legitimacy to what's going on. So we're going to find out, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks.
Frame?
What, honey?
What's the time frame to find out?
Oh, it could be months, right? Who knows? But it wasn't going to stop the other way, so I don't think it was going to stop if there was none of this with all the meetings that happened over the last week. I don't think you'd be as close as you are now, and we might not be close. We'll see.
We had meetings beforehand. Granted, they might not have been in person, but there were phone calls. Like, this is not. It's not as if Biden wasn't having these conversations. These conversations were still happening.
Well, I don't know. The NATO guy, the head of NATO, said that this is the more investments that we had in the last 3.5 years, and he was very excited.
They glazed Trump because he's a narcissist.
He also called him daddy, so I don't really put much stock into what he says.
They praised him. Why?
They glaze him because he's a narcissist. They know that if in order to make any headway with anything, they have to be on his good side in order to prevent him from putting blanket tariffs on every country or more tariffs on everybody for no reason. They need to be on his good side. They talk him up just so that to stay out of the bullseye.
Well, wouldn't that make a strong leader? If everybody's kowtowing him, I guess he's pretty strong and powerful, isn't he?
It's not kowtowing. It's just showing how easily manipulated he is.
Right. It's the same with the meeting he had with Putin, where Putin brought up mail-in voting. The way he brought up mail-in voting, specifically the way Putin brought it up, was by saying, yes, for educational purposes only, TikTok, yes, you won in 2020 and you won handedly, but the reason that this happened was because of fraud in mail-in voting. Like, he's trying to break down our democracy. That has been Russia and Putin's goal for decades. They've tried to do this since like the 60s, is they're trying to break down the fabric of our democracy. And all he had to do it was boost up Trump's ego. It's not because he's strong. It's not because people are scared of him. They just know that if you like whisper honey in his ear, that he's going to do what you want.
I mean, you make some good points. We'll see. And obviously, if they have to give up some land, then that's not going to look good. Then you guys are going to blame Trump for having to give up land, I bet.
If he supports it. If he supports them ceding land, then yeah, I would blame him for that. If Zelensky made the choice on his own without coercion, that would be different.
But Trump he said the other day, at the end of the day, it's between Zelensky and Putin. So, I think
he wants the credit for ending it.
Well, of course he wants the credit for ending it.
He's a very vain man.
Yes. Extremely.
Should he not get credit if he ends it?
How would he end it?
Well, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, if they have a ceasefire and they're not doing this anymore, then he helped end it, right?
Well, I guess, Raymond, I appreciate you. It would be like the, third, fourth, God knows what ceasefire that Russia will probably also break. It's not that you think this would be the first time that Russia and Ukraine have had a ceasefire?
But we'll see.
You
got some good points, but we'll see.
We'll see in 2 weeks.
That's Raymond's entire MO.
the couple people yesterday, because they can't explain this. They can't explain what we've progressed. Like, where are we seeing progression towards an end of the war? They're really not doing anything different, besides the fact that he brought Putin to the United States, which I think was a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah, ceasefire is not a peace deal, by the way. Two separate things. Don't know if you know, but hi, Blue. How are you?
Not too bad.
You guys, 177 of you in here. I appreciate you being here today on this Wednesday. Can we boop that screen up to 10,000 likes? I'd appreciate it. We have 5 shares. Let's get to 10. If you have not done your daily heart me, please do so. And we can start having some conversations today. Like the one we just had with Raymond. Raymond is always respectful. He just kind of, he listens, but I think it's still that sunk cost fallacy. Can't quite get there.
Yeah.
Is it Dio or Dio?
Dio.
Dio, how are you today?
Good. So let me just ask you a question because
Did you vote for Trump real quick, though? I just want to make sure.
of course,
Okay, go ahead.
yeah. So what is your solution to ending this? Because this is a very hard problem,
I
and
agree.
it's really easy to point the finger at Trump. He's not doing this. He's not doing this. But put yourself in his spot. What would you do right now? I want to hear your solution because I don't hear any solutions from the Democrats. What? Just keep sending more missiles and just
Right.
more people dying, and then we get in World War III, and the weapons.
Why
Putin's
would we
got.
get into World War III?
Why wouldn't we? This guy's killing little. He's
So
he's
just tell
unalive.
me you're scared, then. Just say you're scared. That's fine.
Listen, he's unaliving little babies. He has no problems doing that to
I'm
us.
aware. I'm aware.
Okay,
But
so what makes you
you're
think he won't do
scared.
it? What
You're
makes you
scared.
think?
It's okay, Dio. It's okay to be scared. But my thing is from before
No,
my
no,
birth,
no. You
Dio,
listen.
hold on.
Why?
From before my birth, I have been told that we are going to get into World War III and that Putin has no problem pressing the button. And Putin threatens that all the time as his swinging his dick around in order to scare everybody. And I've heard this from before I was birthed. At this point, I have a family. I don't want anything to happen to my family, but at this point, push the fucking button. Because I'm sick of this fucking fear mongering that we can't do anything about what Russia is doing because we're so scared about World War III.
I think it's just being wise, not scared. There's a difference, okay? There's a
Not
wise.
being wise, though. But it's not being wise. What we are doing, right, is we're trying to get Russia to leave, or we're trying to break down Russian forces to a point where they are not a military threat.
All right. So your solution is keep throwing more weapons. That's your solution. 'Cause
No,
that's-
my solution is Russia leaves. That's my solution.
Okay, but your real solution is just keep this going, send more powerful weapons, more and more and more. That's your solution, and that's not a good one. It's not going to.
What's a better solution then?
It's not going to end good for anybody.
What's
the
a
way
better
you're talking.
solution then?
The better solution is you got to come to an agreement with these two people, which Trump is trying to
That
do.
agreement would be what, Dio?
The agreement is you have to give some kind of land up. If you don't want to give land,
How did
this is not
appeasement work in World War II?
okay. Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Do we have
No, how did appeasement work in World War II?
Okay, but we didn't have the weapons they had in World War II. This is different today. It's a lot different
The
today.
weapons don't matter.
Oh, yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
100% it does. 100%
It does not.
it does.
That's
Listen,
worse. So then if we give up,
100%
no,
it does.
that's even worse actually. So you're right. We didn't have the weapons that we do now. You're right. So if we, allow, or Zelensky is forced into giving up some land, doing appeasement, conceding some land, right? They have bigger weapons now, right? What is keeping them from breaking that and continuing on now that they've got that land and a new front line?
Okay, so
What keeps them from that?
well, can I ask you a question? Do we have
What keeps them from moving forward?
Putin doesn't want NATO surrounding his country, and we don't want.
I don't care, and that's my problem now.
I don't want him off the New Jersey coast either with his warships either.
That's
And
my
you wouldn't
problem,
either.
Hal, that he doesn't want NATO next to him.
Okay, I understand what
He
he's
already
saying.
has NATO next to him, so.
Right.
I know, but he's surrounded by NATO.
Okay.
Okay.
He allowed himself to be surrounded by NATO.
Okay, so
what was the
anybody
part?
with common
why didn't
sense-
he stop it before?
Listen, I don't blame him for trying to protect his people if he's surrounded by
Not
NATO.
protecting his people. He wants
Okay.
to put the Soviet Union back together. Have you ever listened to him talk?
Yeah, he feels like that was his land that was taken. Yeah, he
So?
wants to get his
And
land
he's
back.
wrong, but he's wrong.
Okay.
Because they fought for independence.
And
He's
we all-
wrong, right,
We all-
Dio?
we all know that Ukraine.
Is he wrong, Dio?
What?
Is Putin wrong that it's his land?
I mean, when you lose something to war, nobody's
It's not
wrong.
war,
Oh
it's
my God.
independence. So do we belong to the UK then, right?
No.
Oh, okay, because we fought for our independence, like all those other countries did.
Yeah. But
Okay, so is it his land or not?
it's legally no.
Ethically, is it his land?
No.
Okay, but he wants to put it all back together. So what would appeasement keep him from going into the next country?
So you just told me here, and I heard you say it's worth just the whole world just blowing up.
I
That's
don't think that'll happen because he's
I
too
know,
much of a
but-
narcissist to want to unalive himself. And if he does, I guess he does.
And here's the thing: a lot of women keep saying, "Oh, why'd you treat this man like this?" You don't understand. Men demand respect. You cannot treat another man. You
Excuse
can't.
me.
What?
A lot of women do what now?
I said women do not. If you put a woman up there, they would not respect Putin. You said, "Oh, you put a carpet out for him. You
don't-
shook
don't-
his hand. You shook
are
his
we
hand."
talking
God forbid
about?
we
I
put a
don't
woman
care.
up there. God forbid we put a woman. God forbid.
What?
Because you don't respect women. I understand that.
No. I'm saying a woman, like with the way you're talking, you say, "Oh, why you give this man respect? You put a carpet. You shook his hand.
Yeah.
All
That's
this
not.
crap,
That's not just
okay?
respect. That's
Okay,
blazing.
you
That's,
gotta understand the most important thing to
Is
a
he
man
a dictator?
is respect.
Yes or no? Is he a
Yes,
dictator?
I agree. Everything you're saying. Yes.
So why did we have our Marines put out a red carpet and have the president of the United States clap for him to show
okay.
up?
Let me answer this for you. Because another man, if you disrespect another man, the most valuable thing a man has is respect. You cannot disrespect another man.
Why are
Period.
men like this?
Okay. You
Y'all
put a
need
wo-
y'all
you
need
put a-
therapy, like really badly.
No, this is the
Really
truth,
bad.
though. This
It's
is
not the truth. Based off
It's
of
the
what
truth. See, 'cause
truth
you're a
is that?
woman.
Where
'Cause
where
you're-
is that in psychology? Where is that in
Do
biology?
you know what? Because you're a
Yeah.
woman. Because you don't understand this. You're a woman.
I'm a
Bitch,
man.
I swear to
and-
God, I understand a
And,
lot
you
and
more.
are
if that other man
being
says that
ridiculous.
he's not a man,
Dio,
that
because
other,
I
You
was
are
having
being
a legitimate
ridiculous.
factual
Oh.
conversation about the stuff going on between Russia and Ukraine, and instead of actually validating the fact that that Putin is a dictator who wants to take back land and has said so because he wants to put the Soviet Union back together, right? Instead of actually addressing that point, you go off to misogyny and say I don't know anything because you don't know anything. Hi, Adi.
Just fucking wild. Like, oh my God. All right. Like, there was so much that I was just like punching my keyboard, right? Because I'm just like, I hate all of you and your weird Russian propaganda that we all
Yes.
spew out. So, oh my God. So, Dio, how does it feel to be on bottom right now? You're under a woman at the moment. Does this hurt your little
this
feelings?
is why we can't have a woman president. This is why.
Oh,
I love
you're
you,
so
Hector.
sensitive.
And that's why
So,
you never had
I
one.
find it
This is why you
interesting.
never
I find
had
it
one.
interesting
Just
that
because of the
Dio
way this
brought up
woman
like
sounds.
respect and that you have to respect world leaders, but we didn't see that in February when JD Vance basically jumped down Zelensky's throat for no fucking reason,
yeah.
accusing him of making a threat and not being thankful, even though the first thing he did when he sat down was say, "Thank you, Trump. Thank you, American people." Like he thanked the entire country,
real
knowing that
emotion.
it came from the taxpayers, right? That actually are the ones that basically funded sending the weapons over there was the taxpayers and not just Donald Trump, which, by the way, Donald Trump hadn't given any equipment at that point in February, by February 2025, hadn't given them anything. So JD Vance even jumping down his throat being like, you should be thanking Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah. When again, Donald Trump hadn't given Ukraine jack diddly squat. It should be thank you, former President Biden. Sorry, airplane.
I'm just trying. I'm trying to give you girls a little bit of some
I don't
information.
need. I'm a woman. I'm a grown ass woman. I'm 34 years old. I have 2 kids, and I'm obviously smarter than you. I know Adi is smarter than you on this fucking subject. Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what I want you to address our points about Russia and Ukraine versus trying to tear down women, because I don't care about your opinions about having a woman in charge. She lost. Your man is in, and he's not doing shit for the Ukrainian people.
Okay, but I'm saying your solution is just let the whole world end.
Nope.
It's,
That was not
oh my God.
That's your solution.
Nope.
That's
I
your
said my
solution.
solution
it's
was
not.
Russia leaves. I was
They're
very
not going to leave, honey. They're not.
That's the
leaving.
only
They're
solution.
not leaving.
That's the only solution, though,
Okay,
Dio. That's the only way
it's
that
not
this
the only
ends the way that
solution.
it is.
Again,
I don't understand why everyone is okay with disregarding internationally recognized borders of individual countries. But if the same thing were to happen to the United States of America, let's say Russia follows through on what they teach in their education system and saying that Alaska is theirs, and they, quote, take it back because it was only on a 100-year land lease, right? According to Russians' own teachings. So with that being the case, if Russia just decides to occupy Alaska based off of your own logic, and it's gone on for 3 years and they weren't able to leave, we should just automatically give Alaska back to Russia, correct, Dio?
Looks like
It was theirs originally.
No, we shouldn't give it. Listen to me.
Oh, exactly. You
Because
see
it's
how
different
you
when it's
you
us.
see how you are
See?
an immediate
It's not different.
hypocrite? You are an
Do we have-
immediate hypocrite. No,
All right.
you're an immediate hypocrite. If you can't hold the same tune to when it applies to the United States of America, you hold no water anymore. Your argument falls apart. You are a hypocrite. It's rules for
Blah,
thee, but
blah,
not for
blah.
me, and that's all you have.
I know you don't hear the
All
decibel of a
right. Do
woman.
we have a legal? Do we have a
Alaska was
legal?
Alaska literally used to be Russia.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah, we got it. Russia.
Uh-huh.
We bought it
Yeah,
from Russia.
Ukraine got their
When was
land
the
too.
first?
Okay.
Yeah, when was the first time that Ukraine declared their independence throughout history? Do you know?
I don't.
Of course you don't. It was actually 1918. It was the very first time that Ukraine was declared a sovereign country.
Listen.
So it was never actually Russia. It wasn't even owned by Russia. It wasn't even owned by Russia prior to 1918. It was actually occupied by the Polish. Not even Russia, sir. Like, Poland was like, sure, have your land, right? So it's even funny, it wasn't even Russia's until the USSR invaded in 1922.
Do we have a legal obligation to protect Ukraine through NATO? Yes or no?
Multiple. Yes, they broke multiple
Are they
violations.
part of NATO? Are they part of NATO?
No.
Yes or no?
Partnership for Peace
Well,
Program,
Yes or no?
1994.
Just a yes or no. Are they
Partnership.
part of NATO? Yes
They're
or
a
no?
partner.
And
Harry,
They're
don't
a
go around the
partner.
corner. Don't go.
They're a partner.
Shut the
They're a
fuck up.
partner of NATO. It's called the Partnership for Peace
Partner.
Program of 1994.
Wow.
Partnership for Peace Program 1994. And do you know what? You want to know what's something very interesting about that Partnership for Peace Program? Every single country on Russia's border signed that same thing in 1994.
Wow, you should tell
Every
President
single
Trump that because
European.
I don't think he knows that.
I know he doesn't know that, just like you didn't know that until I just told you, because you guys choose to remain uneducated on
So
these subjects.
so they're legally a part of NATO.
I said they're a
I would-
partner. I like how you're not listening. You know what's interesting about the Partnership for Peace program is that even Russia signed it in 1994. And see, even Mongolia has an agreement with NATO. It's just different because they're Asia. It has a different title. I can't remember the name, but literally the only countries on Russia's border that didn't sign an agreement, a partnership agreement with NATO in 1994 and 1995 is China and North Korea. Those are the only two countries. Everyone else has an agreement, a partnership with NATO.
Okay, can you explain what being a
Are you
legal?
familiar with the Helsinki Final Act too?
But can I ask you a question on what you just said?
Sure, you can try.
Can I ask you? So why, if they're already a part of NATO, why does Lazinski or whatever?
Why are you putting words in Ari's
Why
mouth?
if they're already
what she said.
Why are you putting words in Ari's mouth?
If they already are part of NATO,
Why are you
like
putting
what
words
you're
in Ari's
saying.
mouth?
That's what
No.
she said.
That is
That's
not
Not
what
what
she
she said. She's
At all.
explicitly multiple times repeated.
Okay, what is the
that's
difference between a partnership and being legally a part of NATO? Tell me that. That's what I want to know.
A partner is what guarantees some sort of security agreements, right? That's why every country in NATO has been assisting Ukraine, right? And not only every country in NATO, also our partnership countries within NATO, such as Australia and Japan, have also been funding and assisting out Ukraine. Isn't that interesting? How the only people that have backed out, once again, is the United States of America for some very odd reason.
So we're legally obligated to protect Ukraine. Yes or no?
Yes, we have an obligation based off of multiple treaties, not just with the Budapest Memorandum of 1994 signed in December of 1994, but also other agreements. And yes, guys, I did say Helsinki, it's Helsinki. My bad. The Helsinki Final Act was also a treaty that Russia violated when they invaded Ukraine. The Partnership for Peace program is another one that they violated when they invaded Ukraine.
Yeah, I'm not saying what Russia's doing is right. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to figure out a solution here. And the solution isn't to send more weapons and more missiles and more powerful and so more people can keep dying. This is not the
No,
solution.
the solution is to let Ukraine decide when they are done fighting because they are their own sovereign country. They decide when they give up. You see, all of these meetings that Putin is proposing, they're just a distraction so he can continue to build up his military forces in the areas and make Donald Trump feel good. Right? We already know that because even Donald Trump admitted it on national television that he had to find out from his wife, First Lady Melania Trump, that every time after phone calls with Putin, Putin's done something in Ukraine. Dropped a bomb on Kyiv and unalived over eight innocent civilians that had nothing to do with this war.
Yeah, this isn't
Dropped
the first
bombs
time that
throughout.
he's done this. He has talks all the
Right.
time so that he can stall, so he can.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you what's going to happen? If this keeps going on, Ukraine will lose every piece of land they have. If they stop it now, they'll still have a country. If they let this go on, then they're going to have zero. They're going to have zero people left, and they're going to lose their whole country. That's
And
where
then
it's
what
going.
happens?
That's
Why
where that's where it's
had more
going.
Let's say
unaliveness
Russia
than
takes
So
over
you know
all.
what?
I'll
So
grant
you know
it to
what?
you.
You know
Let's
what?
say
Let it
Russia
fight.
takes over all of Ukraine. Then what happens?
Tell me.
No, what happens? I'm asking you. What's the next step?
We're in World War III.
So either way, then. So my way,
No,
we're in
not
World War III.
either.
Your way, we're in. Okay.
No, not either way.
Okay.
If we can
God, you
settle
guys are so
this,
scared. You guys are scared of everything and
listen,
everyone all the time.
that's why we
We're
don't
so
have
strong.
a.
I thought we
That's
were
why.
so strong,
What's
and men and alphas
That's
are
what's
so
why.
actually
strong.
That's why a woman can't
what
be
I
in
want to
office.
point out
That's why a
before
woman
Matt
can't be in
pops
office.
in, hey Matt, buddy,
Sorry.
is that what's more likely to happen is that Article 5 is going to be enacted either by Lithuania, Latvia, or Estonia, or even Poland, because of Russia and them sending out drones into the area that are actually carrying their spicy balloons, like actual drones with boom booms on them and attached and crashing into their fields. So if Russia continues exactly what they're doing, because they're literally poking the bear with NATO on purpose, we have evidence of this. It's already being investigated for Latvia to see if they can, in fact, enact Article 5, because they did this very recently, just 2 weeks ago, before, after the meeting was announced to be had in Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
so the whole.
hey, Dio. Hey, Dio. Sorry, I've just gotta stop you there for a second.
He might listen to you,
Um,
Matt. You're a man.
yeah, doubtful, considering the fact that you guys have been giving him all of the correct information and he won't listen to it. But hey, Dio, real quick. So, have you read the Institute for the Study of Wars report on the Ukraine-Russia war
Oh, I love
and
that
how?
website.
What's that? What was that, Ari?
I love them.
How
I
I
you
know,
love
me
that
too.
website.
how
I
Ukraine's winning the war? Is that what
I'm
you're
sorry.
saying?
I'm sorry. Do you know who the Institute for the Study of War is?
No.
Awesome. Do you know who General David Petraeus is?
Um. No, I don't think so. I heard his
You,
name.
you don't know who General David Petraeus is, the four-star American general who was on the Joint Chiefs of Staff and worked through multiple administrations and is considered to be one of the top military strategists by the Bush administration, by the Obama administration, and was respected by the Trump administration, also the Clinton administration. He literally worked 40 years, right, in our military, and he's among the people that are part of the Institute for the Study of War. So basically, it's some of the top military minds in our country who no longer are in the military who study wars and who study conflicts. Okay. Do you know what their assessment of the Ukraine Russia war is right now?
I don't.
I know you don't, because if you did, you would know that their assessment is that Russia is getting crushed. And if the United States were to simply support Ukraine in the way that they should be supported, not with US troops, but just with the equipment that they deserve, that we should be giving them, and not holding one arm, tying one arm behind their back as we stop them from attacking Russia. If we didn't do those things and we just let them go, they would just simply defeat Russia, and Russia would be forced. They would be forced to leave Ukraine with their tail tied between their legs.
Okay,
That would be it.
and
That'd be
we
the end of
both
it.
and we
And
both we
and
both
correct me
know.
if I'm wrong, Matt, but this is even taking into account that Russia is conscripting North Korean soldiers.
That is correct. That's not only is that taking that into account, Ari, but that is also assessing the fact that Russia is using, and Dio, get this, Russia is using World War II era equipment on the battlefield right now because they don't have anything else. That's how bad their military is right now. The thing that Putin wants more than anything, anything is for a quote unquote peace deal where he gets to keep some land in Ukraine to stop the conflict, and then he gets to rebuild his military for X number of years before he does this all again.
Do it
That's
again.
exactly what Putin wants.
Hmm.
Okay, but don't you think this man is sending massive bombs and he's taking out unaliving little babies, little girls, little boys? What makes you think he won't use bigger weapons? What makes you think he
I'll
can't?
tell you exactly why.
He
I'll tell
doesn't
you
care
exactly. I'll
if
tell
he
you.
can take
Yeah,
out
I'll
little
tell you
Does
babies.
exactly. I'll
care.
shut up, and if you shut up, I'll tell you exactly why.
I don't
Stop
care what
talking.
I don't care what
Yeah,
the general says.
I know you don't because Dio, what are your military credentials? Do tell all of us. Okay,
Well,
cool. That's what I thought. So, anyways,
my father was 25 years.
the
Your
reason
father,
why Putin,
you don't get to take your father's
yeah,
service on. That's not something.
yeah,
Hilarious.
no one cares. Ari can do that. I can do that. A bunch of us can do that. No one fucking cares. The reason why Putin isn't going to do that is because number one, the fallout from something in Ukraine would affect Moscow worse than anywhere else. Okay, that's number one. Do you think that Putin has a death wish? Is that what you think?
Yes, yes,
You do?
yes,
So then it doesn't matter what we do because the man is insane.
There you go.
yes.
You understand
Good.
that? So you're
That's the
scared.
There you go.
You are
That's the
scared.
first true
That's
thing
it.
you said. That's the first true thing you
So it
said.
doesn't matter. Okay, great. So
You're
none of this
absolutely
matters.
right.
So it doesn't
You're
matter.
absolutely
So
right.
Dio, then it doesn't matter what we do. Great. So then we can just keep fighting until we defeat him. Cool. It doesn't matter. You just proved our point.
No,
Like
no.
we've
Excellent. Thank
seen
you.
it put in practice, Dio. We have seen it put in practice. Like Matt just described to you, and like we were talking about earlier, the equipment that they are using is from World War II because they don't have anything to build
my
up. On
God.
top
Do
of
you
having
know there is
sanctions, Dio, on top of having sanctions to cripple their economy. Like I don't see how this is not working.
Okay. He's not bad weapon wise as you think. Okay, he's got
According to
the
what? Where's that your
second,
source for that?
the second largest nuke capability in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Not nukes. Not
Not
nukes. Number
nukes.
one, his actual artillery and regular ground equipment force is absolutely decimated. That's number one.
Yeah,
And
I
number two.
know. I
And by
know.
the way, number two, if you want to talk about nukes, the actual usability and effectiveness of their arsenal is highly, highly debated because it's all Soviet era equipment and nobody knows exactly how well that's been kept up or if any or how
Rice.
much of it is still operational. Is some of it operational? For sure, it absolutely is. But how much of it is operational or will it work when they call upon it? Nobody really knows the answer
That's
to that.
all they spent their money on. They don't even take care of their people.
I agree, but then what you're saying is again, Dio.
It works.
You
I
are
promise
scared
you.
of
All their
something. You
stuff
are
works.
scared of something. We know that when it comes to just military force, okay, we are pushing them back. If he decides to send out a nuke anywhere, that's the end of it for everybody
it.
anyway.
Yeah, and that's what
Yeah,
he's
like,
and that's
that's
what he's
it.
You're
being
not going to
pushing.
avoid that though.
And
No,
do you
he's not.
understand, Russia? He respects himself so much. He's willing to take that and do that because I don't think he cares if he's killing, if he's unaliving
He
little
won't
babies.
care about anything that we
If
do.
he's unaliving little
Going
babies,
to
he
use that.
doesn't care.
He's going to
I
use
mean,
that
listen,
for
you-
decades as a scare
He
tactic
fell for the
decades.
slogan.
No,
Am I echoing, by the way?
he's showing us. He's not you. He's not trying.
Anyways, so this guy fell for the slogan of "drill, baby, drill," and he's crying about Putin killing babies. Like literally, you just said, "Drill, baby, drill." You're talking about drilling babies. You're so odd. And sorry, that's just my little. My dumb little joke for that one. Um, why are we talking about drilling babies, guys? Anyways, so if we're talking about Russia being able to see, look, even the guy from, gosh, I can't remember what country he's from, but
It's not
whatever.
from here, yeah.
He was laughing too. Like, listen, it's so dumb. Anyways, so if Russia drops a nuke, even on Ukraine, because of the fallout that would occur um, in the surrounding countries, including Poland, right? Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, that's it. Like, Article 5 would be enacted immediately just from that occurring. And then that would be literally the end of the world. Putin's not that dumb. He's not that dumb yet. He might, because Putin's actually if I remember, isn't he also like Donald Trump's age?
Not yeah, Ari. Not only that, but to your very very good point. Aside from Article 5, who controls Dio? Who controls the country? Who controls Russia? I mean, I know you're going to say Putin, but come on, use your brain. Who actually controls Russia?
Don't tell me China.
No, not another country. It's the oligarchs. It's the oligarchs in
Yeah.
Russia, right? The Russian billionaires are the ones who actually control the country. You know that. I know that. We all know that, right? You acknowledge the fact that it's the oligarchs that put Putin into place, that are the ones that he actually helped protect their interests, et cetera, et cetera. You understand that, right? Can we have an understanding that that's a
And that
thing that
goes
Putin
and that
does?
goes and that goes for the same for the United States too.
Yes. Yeah, sure it does. That's exactly what
Because
Trump does.
we're a
Exactly.
war
We,
machine
I'm
too.
so glad
We're a
that we
war
can
machine.
agree. I'm so glad we agree that Trump and Putin are very similar in that way. Thank you for
Yeah.
pointing that out.
Yes.
Appreciate that. But here's the
I
thing,
agree.
bud. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The oligarchs in Russia would sooner would sooner have a pew pew put up to Putin's head, or if Putin takes an accidental fall, or his plane accidentally goes boom boom, like Prigozhin's plane did, right? The head of Wagner Group, et cetera, et cetera. There would be an incident like that if it was ever looking like we were pushing towards that. I can guarantee that, because the oligarchs, they also don't want to be unalived. They also don't want their lives to be ended. None of them want this. You have to understand that mutually assured destruction, as Ari has pointed out, is still a thing. Nobody wants mutually assured destruction, not even Vladimir Putin, and certainly not the oligarchs in Russia. What you are talking about is a fool's errand. It would never
So
happen.
so
Yeah, you
all
can't
these
enjoy your
And let's
wealth
not
if you're dead.
forget,
how about these people
yeah,
giving
and let's not forget that the former president Medvedev is also a part of the Security Council for Putin, so he's super close. I'm just saying, like, it's an illogical statement to say that Russia is going to 100% win. The Institute of the Study of War has already estimated that it would take at least, this is the best part, at least 5 more years for even Russia to even attempt to take over that other 8% of land that they're claiming they already have control over, or that they're saying that they're telling Trump that it should be theirs. The rest of the Donbass region, right? It's about 8% additional land that they have zero control over. Not only would it take an additional 5 years, but it would cost them 1 million Russian soldiers' lives. They don't have that to spare.
no, and they're getting desperate. This is the thing. You're making them desperate, and like you said, you keep saying, "Oh, Putin wouldn't do this." Why are they digging holes in caves out in mountains if this can't happen?
He's not going to survive that. That's not how that works.
Why is the U.S.
Again,
have
it's
all these
it's
caves in Nevada underneath the ground in case this happens? If it's not going to happen, why are they doing that? For
because
no
of the
reason?
potential. But even then, like, those caves have been
Yeah.
around since the Cold War. Those aren't something that we're actively digging within the
Oh,
United
oh,
States. So
yes, we are. Ari,
that's
you
a
need to look
foolhardy
that up. You
statement.
need
Yeah.
to look that up.
Why can't they say you're
100% we are.
I don't know.
100% we are. They're
Dio,
actively being used.
D,
Yes.
Dio, Dio. Do you know what
Don't be
else?
naive.
Dio, I live in Massachusetts. Do you know what else exists? There's a bunker on Nantucket.
Instigator, I'm literally walking, you dumb fucking weirdo.
Dude, there's actually a bunker on Nantucket Island that you can access from one of the beaches that was a planned spot for JFK to go if there was going to be a nuclear incident in the United States. They have literally been thinking about this, as has been pointed out, since the 60s. And as was also just pointed out, it doesn't matter what happens. It's not going to help. It's not going to fix anything. So people can dig holes in mountains all they want, or have their secret underground bunkers. The threat of mutually assured destruction is real. And you wishing and hoping and thinking that Putin is crazy enough to do this
He
and go
is.
against
He
all
is.
conventional. Cool, cool.
He is.
And just so you know, we have given you fact after fact after fact to
Oh,
prove that
please,
you are not right, and
please.
you have not given us any actual reasons other than he just is. We have shown you that there are actual
Can I give you a
reasons.
reason?
We have
How long
shown you
has
that,
Putin
no,
been
hold
in
on.
power and threatening this?
Can I give you a reason? Let
How
me give
long
you a
has
reason.
Putin been in power and threatening this?
Let me give you a reason, okay? Because you keep saying I have.
Can
Men.
you put me on the big screen for a
Can I give
second?
you a
I just want to
reason?
show.
Can I
No,
give you?
until you answer my question.
I just want to show the weirdo that doesn't believe that I've been walking this
How
whole
dare you
time.
exercise, Ari?
Like 21 minutes, 17. Like, look, the steps are still counting on what I'm doing out here.
Get those
Oh, yeah,
steps
she
in.
just started walking. No, I'm literally walking outside in the hot fucking Florida heat. It's gross.
I just want to know how long Putin has been in power and threatening World War III. How long has he been doing that? Because again, you're just proving the point that it doesn't matter. If you think he's as insane as you think he is, it does not matter what we do. Yeah, since 1999, I know. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Hey, instigator,
Why
how
does
about
he have
you
no
hit that
problems?
follow button and tomorrow you come up on my live? How about that, buddy?
Stop.
Why does he have no problems unaliving little babies? If you think he's sane,
We unalive little babies. I don't know why you keep bringing that up as
he's
this real
driving by.
clutch
He's
moment.
driving
We
by
do that
little
too.
babies.
We also unalive children. Don't know if you know that about the
Why
UN.
do you think he cares
Drill,
about
baby,
human
drill.
life? Why do you think he cares?
So
Why do you
Donald
think he
Trump, so
cares?
Donald Trump, so Donald Trump doesn't either. Cool. You
He
voted for
doesn't.
somebody that does the same thing. Awesome.
He
Good
does that
job.
too.
So why do you care, Dio? You're
You
literally
keep saying this guy wouldn't do that, and he's doing it every day. He doesn't care.
Donald Trump does and has done
Also,
the same thing. So
we are
what are
also
you talking about?
we're funding it actually
Literally.
We're
in
not
the
talking
hundreds of
about.
thousands.
We're talking about what in Putin's mind.
Oh, I
Would he
know,
do
I
this?
know, but you're trying to make a point that he does this. It's his pearl clutch moral superiority that he unalives children. I agree with you. He unalives children. He kidnapped how many thousands of Ukrainian
He
children?
has no moral
I'm
ground.
aware that he unalives children. So does
Neither
the
does
U.S.
Trump.
In particularly, Trump is helping to fund a G-side of hundreds of thousands of children. So you're giving me this moral superiority on one side that we don't have. Trump also unalives
Even
children.
without-
We're not. But we're just. We're
Even-
not. Why are we going? Why we always
Even
go back?
without going to Gaza, we can just look at the fact that when Trump pulled the the intelligence sharing for Ukraine, that's when Russia used the opportunity to do a mass onslaught on them for this whole week that this intelligence sharing had stopped, and thousands died.
Exactly. And Ari, quick question for you. What's Putin's stated goal since he became president of Russia that he's said over and over and all of his actions point to? What's his stated goal in trying to get into Ukraine, invading Georgia? What is his stated goal, Ari?
He
What
wants
does he
the
want?
USSR back.
Yep.
He told Poland in 2013, prior to even invading Ukraine, right, that Poland isn't safe. His security team reiterated that in 2023 and in 2024, and just saying that just because you're a part of NATO, that doesn't make you safe from Russia. They've been saying it. You guys just don't look.
How does that jive with what you're saying, Dio? His actions, his words, and his actions don't jive with what you're saying. You're describing a man who just wants nothing more than to end it all. That's not what his goal is. His goal is he wants to reconstitute the Soviet Union.
I understand, but this man
You
is
clearly
not.
don't understand, because
No,
if you
no,
understood, you
no,
wouldn't be saying the things that you're saying.
no. I'm saying the route that you guys want to take, just to keep putting more weapons and more, is not going to end well for anybody.
It literally is going to end incredibly well for Ukraine and for the United States and all of its allies.
That's
The
where we
only people that it's
disagree.
going to
That's where
end
we
poorly
disagree.
for is Russia. And if you disagree with that, you're simping for Putin and for Russia.
No, no. I know.
Yes, yes,
I
You
yes,
can't prove
yes.
against that. We
can
have all described to you how what
no.
we have been doing has been working. Yes, people are still being unalived, and that is fucking terrible. If Russia would have minded their own fucking business and stayed out of Ukraine, we wouldn't be in this position. But however, here we are. So we have shown you where that is working, and we are taking apart their military. So show me where us continuing to do that would be different. Like, what is Trump doing that would be so different? Why do you think appeasement would just all of a sudden, like, Putin's going to be like, okay, that's okay, when everything he's ever said is that he's going to keep going?
Listen, before you think that we can totally take out Russia, okay? He
Not what
will
I said.
use. He
What
will.
we're
He will.
saying.
He will
Not
use
what
a
I said.
nuke before that happens. 100%, that man will use a nuke before that happens. 100%.
Oh my God, you
Nobody
guys are
has
so
said
100%.
that.
Gonna he'll
100%.
unalive first for
Okay,
Right.
he
one.
doesn't care
And
about
nobody's
human
trying
life.
to take over Russia.
He doesn't care
We don't
about
want
human
Russia.
life.
How
It's
is
cold
ceding
there,
land?
man.
How is ceding land going to get Putin to actually stop? What's
Well,
the guarantee?
that's where we're at right now. So
What's the guarantee?
so
What is the guarantee that he stops?
we're gonna find out those details, aren't we?
We're gonna find out. Everyone, we'll see in fucking 2 weeks. You guys are scared. I'm not a destructionist. I don't want the world to end. I have a family I would like to see grow up. I don't want the world to end, but I have been told for my entire life. Putin has said, we've got the button, we've got the button, we've got the button. I'm not gonna kowtow and bend to this fucking dictator and do everything that he wants, which we know historically doesn't work, because he's got a button. Sorry, not gonna do it. Y'all can be pussies.
Yeah.
Y'all can do whatever you want to do, but
G4, get your silly little Christian wife butt on this panel. Anyways, guys, there's 282 people in this live right now, and the likes are only at a sad 17,000. I'm going to need you to use all of your fingers. I don't care if you use all 5, you use your thumb, I don't care. But I need you to get these likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's say, since I set such a large goal, I'll give you guys 20 minutes. But if it's not there, I will tell Monica to turn on sub-only chat. But I have to get my pretty face, my tiny feet, back into my office. So go ahead and drop me down.
bye.
Not blue, though.
Wow.
Wow. I also have to go. I've got to drive a small child home for a couple hours, and so that'll be fun. But Milan, thank you for having me up for a minute and letting me yell at that guy, because I cannot stand. I'm so fed up. I'm
The
so
roughness
fed up.
syndrome.
I can't. I know you can't either. I know, because I see you, because I love seeing you comment, especially like in Nemo's Discord when we're talking about this on my live.
I know.
I love seeing you comment about it, and I'm like, oh, man, is mad. Like you're like, I can see how fed up you get, and I'm
Mhm.
like, yes, I feel you. So please drop me for your algo. But thanks for having me up, friend. I appreciate you.
Of course, Matt, you're welcome anytime.
All right, bye.
Bye. Dreamy, how are you today?
Just Mom, how are you? I'm doing good.
Good. What do you want to talk about today?
I guess we can talk about the topic up here, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I guess who is the red carpet for? Putin. Yeah, that's right. Probably as a show his respect, I would say.
Why would we respect him?
It's just like a cordial thing to do to respect other world leaders.
Did he roll out a red carpet for Zelensky?
Did Putin roll out or did Trump roll out a red carpet for Zelensky?
Yeah.
It seems like not. Well, I guess
Right.
Trump has more respect for Putin than he does Zelensky for whatever reason that may be. It's up to him.
Does that concern you?
Why would it?
That he respects a dictator more than he does our allies?
How do you define dictator?
Somebody with all-powerful, not with an all-powerful rigged elections who harms people. Yeah, that would probably be a dictator.
Would you consider a dictator someone who doesn't host elections?
Yeah. Are you going to try and do that right now? Have you read the Ukrainian constitution?
So I'll ask this. So if Trump said we're in a war and he doesn't want to relieve power because we're in a war. Would that be okay?
I don't know. Is that written into our Constitution to be able to do that?
That's not my question.
That's
My
my
question is
question, though. Is it written in our Constitution to be able to do that? Because it's written into the
no.
Ukrainian Constitution to be able to do that.
Is that okay?
Because obviously FDR held
Is that
elections,
okay?
right? We
You
were in
think
a
that's
world
okay?
war and we had elections, right?
I answered yours.
Do you
Answer
think
my question.
do you think
that's
Zelensky
okay?
wrote their constitution?
Right.
I see how you guys are dodging the question. So
I'm not dodging the
first to
question.
answer
I'm
it gets
asking you.
$10.
You've been
Do you
dodging
guys
this
think that's
question
okay?
since you were asked it initially. Like you're,
All right,
you're
I'll just
creating a
consider that a
hypothetical.
concession. We can move
You're
on.
cre-
No.
no,
No.
dude. Like you're creating a hypothetical and then pretending that you won.
It's not a hypothetical.
Stop
sir.
this like Timu like debate bro shit. It's dumb.
They're not good at it.
You are not a very smart person. I remember you, but you can go
You
ahead.
were
Not a very
trying to
smart person?
equate. You were trying to
Okay,
equate Zelensky to a dictator because he has not held an election per his constitution of his country. He is allowed not to because he is at war. You
Is
then
that
try to
okay?
compare that. Hold on. I'm trying to follow your logic here, where you're like something's missing in the synapses here. Okay, you're trying to then compare that to Donald Trump joking about doing the same thing. The reason I'm asking you, because I'm clarifying, is he allowed to do that per our constitution?
No. But what if he
Okay, so then
did
no, he
anyway?
can't do that. Awesome.
Okay, is that okay?
That
That
he
Zelensky's
can't
doing
do
it?
that, I think it's fine because we saw
No,
again
is
with
it okay that
FDR, we were
Zelensky's doing it?
able to hold elections during war and we were fine.
So I asked it the 10th time now. Is it okay that Zelensky is doing that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so would it be okay if our constitution changed and Trump wanted to do that?
No.
Why?
I mean, you'd have a tough time changing the constitution.
DC
to do
isn't
that,
being
but
shelled.
Because he isn't being shelled. What if we were being shelled?
DC isn't being shelled.
What if
Learn to
DC is
listen,
being
dumbass.
shelled?
Okay, how?
Let's say any nation
How?
at all wants to shell
Any
DC.
nation at all? What nation has range to shell DC? I'll wait.
Nemo, you're not very smart, dude.
I'm asking you
A
a
lot
question
of
here,
land.
and all you can respond with is, Nemo, you're not smart. Try again, dude.
Okay.
What nation has range to shell us?
Are you okay? China, Russia,
China has-
Israel,
China-
Iran.
Do you know
Wanna
what a
continue?
shell is? Do you know what a shell is? I don't think you know what a shell is.
Dreamy.
So now you want to play semantics.
Dreamy,
Very
I
smart.
urge you to find where they would get the 2/3 to be able to change the Constitution to do that. Thank you, 13 dot for the 10. But here's my thing. Sure, I guess if the Constitution said that, I'd say, yeah. How are they going to fucking be able to do that? Like Nemo said, who's shelling us? One, and then how are you getting the capability to be able to do that? Okay. Davey, how are you today?
I'm doing good. I think Trump is doing a good job trying to mediate the dispute, bring the parties together. He wants them to meet and to try to resolve their differences. What's the matter with that?
Nothing except for the fact that you brought a dictator onto our land, allowed him to speak first when we were the host country, rolled out a red carpet for him, didn't take any questions. I'm not seeing what we're getting out of the deal. And it was even reported this morning by the Kremlin that they are putting forth situations for a meeting that they know would never happen because they're trying to have it happen in Moscow. Zelensky is not going to Moscow.
Well, in terms of, I've been involved in mediations, and sometimes you do have to flatter or cajole a party to get them
You've been in mediations with a dictator trying to take over a sovereign nation?
I've been in mediations of very, very difficult disputes. And, I've been in very difficult disputes, mediation, and sometimes you do have to flatter or cajole a person. You have to pull
KGB agents?
triggers.
I'll just repeat my question. So, have any of them been murderers or former KGB agents? Please answer, Davey. Thank you.
Several have been involved loss of life in the context of mass catastrophes, plane crashes, and that sort of thing. So a lot of times,
no.
right, not with dictators, but with parties. In other words, Putin, you have to bring him to the table, and he likes that. To show him that respect, and that was necessary to bring him to the table. You had to do other things with Zelensky. You had to tell him to put on a suit and
We didn't,
tie.
though, but we didn't. We did not have to do that for Putin. We could have just kept having phone conversations. We did not need to do that. All it did was actually give fire to his propaganda over in Russia. Congratulations.
Well, you can say that in any mediation, but ultimately the parties have to get talking, and and he
They're
put
still
pressure
not
on
talking,
Putin,
though.
and he
I
put
just told
pressure.
you how it is reported that the Kremlin is trying to put negotiations together that would be in Moscow. We know Zelensky's not going to go to Moscow, so they're still not speaking. Nothing has changed.
Well, in other words, that's their position now, but they're going to eventually, Trump is going to pressure them to find a neutral
Pressure them
location
with
where they.
with what? What is he pressuring them with?
He threatened to cut off their sales of petroleum to India. He threatened to put 50% tariffs on India and force them. India is providing Russia with its financial lifeline by buying its oil, and Trump is threatening to cut off that flow of money.
Yeah. How's the Russian economy been doing?
I think it's been doing poorly.
Are they still fighting though?
They are fighting, but
Okay.
in other words, he's
So
threatening to
what
put
what
even
more pressure do we need?
He's putting more pressure on him, but
No, he's not.
eventually he's
He's
trying.
not actually. He rolled out a red carpet for him and clapped for him. I don't think he's putting any pressure on him.
Well, what about the cutting off his oil supplies, his oil purchases from India? Don't you think that's pressure?
I guess, but it's more. I think that's more because India pissed him off more than actually affecting Russia.
No, he said it has specifically to do with he doesn't want them. India is the people who's buying the Russian oil.
I'm aware of that. You keep repeating it for the third time. I'm aware about
It
the
doesn't
Russian
seem to. Okay, so he's
oil being
putting
sold.
pressure and he's trying to mediate the case, and mediators need to have
He's not,
free
though.
reign to work each side in the manner that they feel is appropriate. He made Zelensky put on a suit and tie.
He didn't
Did you
make
see
him
that?
do that. He
He
did not
made
make
him.
him do that.
He
No,
said
he
he
did not.
wasn't going to. He said, "Don't show up unless you wear a suit and tie." And what did Zelensky do?
He did that so y'all would shut the fuck up, because the fact that the media was reporting on his suit and tie versus the fact that he is in war with his country right now was a fucking ridiculous thing happening by the media. That has nothing to do with Trump. You think he would have just like not had him come into the White House if he showed up in not a suit and tie?
It's very important that
That's
the
so stupid. Yeah,
mediator.
Brian Glenn wore the same suit, by the way. I guess he
It's
only
very
knows like
important
who knows.
that the mediator bring the parties together, and that's what he's attempting to do. All
Now,
I'm hearing
did
from you
Biden have
is
Zelensky
more
in the United
war.
States multiple times?
What's that?
Did Biden have Zelensky in the United States multiple times?
I don't know.
Yes. Did Biden have phone calls with Putin?
I don't know.
Yes. So, again, I just see us in the same position we were in, if anything worse, because the day that Zelensky flew in, Russia sent over an attack that unalived 14 people. He is still doing the same things. We're not getting closer to a ceasefire, which Russia likes to break those. Don't know if you know that. We're not getting closer to a peace deal.
Well, look, he's trying to get closer to a peace deal. I believe we are closer than we were before Trump
What
came
makes you
into
think
office.
we're closer?
We're closer because he's getting the parties. There's new proposals on the table, and he's getting the parties
What are the
to
proposals?
try to get together and work it out. And that's the only way there's going to be peace. Neither
What are the
side,
proposals on the table?
neither side is going to collapse. They kept saying, you've been saying
Okay,
for
so you-
years now that
I thought I-
Russia's going to
I was gonna
economy
ask
is
a
going to
question.
collapse and their war machine is going to collapse, and it
Did I
hasn't.
ask a question? I thought I asked a question.
I think you did.
What proposals are on the table?
Proposals are that Russia keeps 20% of Ukraine, that there's a ceasefire, and that European troops are going to be there to defend it, along
You
with
think that's
US
acceptable?
backing. What's that?
You think that's acceptable?
Acceptable to me. If the parties agree with it,
That's
it's
crazy.
whatever is acceptable to
Zelensky's
the
not going to
parties
agree to
is
that.
acceptable
Davey,
to me.
Zelensky is not going to agree to that.
Well, you know, he as Trump pointed out, he has 1/10 the population of Russia, and he's eventually
And they
he
were
may
still
lose
whipping
everything.
his ass.
What's that?
And they were still whipping his ass.
How'd the counteroffensive go? We heard you said, "Oh, we're going to support them. There's going to be a counteroffensive, summer counteroffensive," and it went nowhere.
Yeah, why?
Because it's impossible for them to win. It's like World War One. It's
No, a
trench
certain
warfare.
president and a certain secretary of defense stopped sending packages over to Ukraine.
Look,
Right.
we've spent $30 billion. We've sent them everything.
That's a
They're
drop in the
running out
bucket.
of
That's a
men.
drop in the bucket for our DOD, and it's a loan, and it is in our interest. As if you were listening in the box, I know you were in the box that whole time we spoke to Dio. It is in our interest to do that because we are decimating their military power.
Well, that's what you say, but they have more drones and missiles
No, they
flying
don't.
now than they ever did.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. I saw figures on drones and missile launches, and they're increasing. Russian drones and missile launches are
Where'd you
increasing.
see that?
They're building up their
Where'd you
missile
see
and
that,
drone
baby?
supply.
Davey, where'd you see
It
that?
was in the New York Times.
What was the title?
I don't know. Google number of drones and missiles firing. They have more drones and more long-range missiles. They're getting support from North Korea. They're getting support from elsewhere. In fact, Russia, to show you how dangerous the situation is, Russia is giving nuclear technology to North Korea in exchange
They already have
for
nuclear technology.
drones, missiles, and troops. And that is a direct threat to the United States if North Korea gets intercontinental nuclear weapons.
So I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Dio then. Let's say we get through and they do appeasement and they give up some land. What is the guarantee that that's enough for Putin and he stops?
There's apparently, and I don't know the details, but from what I gathered from the news reports, that there would be French, Polish, and other European troops would actually be in Ukraine. Not part of NATO, but
think
there would
Putin
be
will agree to
military
that?
backing.
You think Putin will agree to that?
I don't know what Putin will agree to. We don't really know until the parties meet, but we're pushing it closer together. Yes, there'll be, there's got to be compromise.
You guys don't have any actual information because we know this is what we've heard before. We're getting closer to that meeting. We're getting closer to the meeting. How many times didn't they try to set one up before and that fell apart?
So you want us just to keep fighting? Is that the solution? Because Ukraine
Until they
doesn't have
stop.
the men.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Ukraine does not have the men. They're running out of men. They've either drafted them or they fled to other countries.
Why is this Ukraine's fault? Putin should leave.
It's not Ukraine's fault.
You're right. Putin should leave.
He should, but we have to deal with the real situation now.
Right. So push harder on Putin instead of rolling out a red carpet for him that my Marines laid out. Maybe do that.
What a good mediator does is he pushes on both sides, and that's what Trump is doing. He's pushing on both sides.
How is he?
And he's trying to bring them together. He's trying.
Davey,
How
shush.
is he pushing Putin?
I told you he threatened to cut off the Indian 50% tariffs on India if they don't stop buying his oil.
Yeah, that's not pushing Putin, dude.
Well, what do you suggest?
Open up the toy shop.
What does that mean?
What is one of the primary exports of the United States?
Just tell me what you're getting at.
Weapons of war. The United States is very good at manufacturing little toys of death. We're very good at that. So we should do more of that and send it to Ukraine. Stop these stupid little piecemeal packages that have to be debated on by a bunch of little antsy Republicans who want to score some political points or whatever. No. And this is something I will criticize the Biden administration for. The drip feed method, no, I was not okay with that. We should have opened it up and given them everything they needed. But we didn't because it's but we might escalate. Putin's already threatening nuclear war every 5 minutes. If we do this, he might threaten it every 2 minutes next. We should have just done it. Because
what is America's interest in the Donbass or any of these other regions? Isn't it kind of zero?
The interest is in Ukraine, right?
What is our interest? What is our interest in the eastern portions of
I'm
Ukraine?
having World War II flashbacks, Nemo.
Or Crimea?
What is America's interest in the hinterlands of Czechoslovakia? What's the United States interest in the Rhineland? Okay, what has Czechoslovakia ever done for the United States?
Are they a NATO member?
Where is Poland?
As Audrey described, if you were here, they are in a partnership with NATO.
They're not in a NATO member.
Correct, but they are in a
So there's no
partnership
treaty.
with NATO.
All right, there's no Article 5.
No, but there's
So we have no duty.
No, there are legal obligations that are not Article 5.
no obligation to go fight for any country that's not in Article 5.
We don't have
Are
boots
we
on the ground.
fighting?
That's not. Nobody is suggesting boots on the ground. I don't know where you guys jumped to that. Nobody is suggesting that. What Nemo just said is open the toy box. What we've been doing is like slowly being like, here's something for you. Here's a little spicy noodle. Here you go. No, we're saying like give them the gun. Like give them the big guns.
We gave them F-16s. We gave them Patriot missile systems. We gave
So?
them M109s. We gave them shells.
M1
They don't have
So?
the manpower. The
No.
counteroffensive
It's not
was a
about manpower,
failure.
dude. Like what you're telling me, the things that you listed off. Just let's go through what you listed off.
All right.
F-16s, Patriot missiles. That's what? Gulf War era tech. Actually, I think F-16s might be earlier than that. Like it's not advanced. We have F-35s. Lockheed Martin cranks those out like fucking McDoubles from Mickey D's. Like that, they just it's insane. It's Willy Wonka of doom. That is what Lockheed Martin does with F-35s.
We're clearing our backlog.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting so many new military contracts from this shit. Like it's not even funny.
And how many years does it take to train someone to fly and service those planes?
An F-35 instead
Yeah.
of an F-16.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard
I'm
that-
pretty
I heard
sure, and I mean, I'm not a pilot, but if you can train someone on an F-16 that didn't previously know how to fly an F-16, it's probably going to be roughly the same time period for an F-35. I mean,
you don't know
I'm
what
not
you're
Air
talking
Force,
about.
so I don't know for sure, but
Okay.
I mean,
and
just
to
saying.
train and you know how much maintenance, a huge amount of maintenance to keep those planes up, and you have to have
So?
hardened facilities. You need parts.
So?
You need supplies.
You're not
you
willing
need
to invest in that
mechanics.
for the sovereignty of a nation?
It's going to be years.
it's
Years.
not.
We're already here. How many years have we been going
Davey,
now?
Davey, what in the hell are you talking about? It's going to be years to build up that logistics network. Do you not
Yeah.
understand we're talking about the United States military? We are talking about the biggest, most advanced, most present fighting force ever known to man. The reason that we're good at war is because we have a massive logistics network that enables us to have Taco Bells in a fucking base in the middle of a desert. Because America. That's the type of shit that we do.
Yeah, what am I
Our
paying for?
logistics network is so advanced that, oh no, the priority is not let's get the bullets there because the bullets have been there. It's we got to get the quesadillas there for Taco Bell, all right? The fucking Crunchwrap Supremes. They just came out. That's America. That's how good we are at this. So you're telling me that we would have to build that out for Ukraine. You don't know where Ukraine is on a map. Poland is right next to Ukraine. It's a staging area. We have already been using Poland as a staging area for all the hardware that we send to Ukraine.
It's always funny to me when Trump supporters are like, America is the greatest, strongest, most powerful country in the world until we're trying to help somebody.
No, we're trying to help somebody.
Then as soon as we try to help somebody, we can't.
You
do
don't
that.
want American
we're doing
troops
too
on the
much.
ground. You want to train and put all the logistics to get the F-35 to Ukrainians. You want to train their pilots. You want to put all the logistics, all the maintenance, all
The
the
logistics
repairs,
and maintenance is already there.
all the hardened shelters.
Yeah, the
everything.
logistics, maintenance, and hardened shelters are already there because Poland borders Ukraine and Poland has the F-35.
They've been running exercises for years.
All right. Well, go for it. Is all I can say.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
we
going
agree
to
then.
that F-35 is going to change the dynamics.
Oh no, that's one thing. I'm saying open it all up. Don't do this subject to like, oh well, you've got to wear suits the next time that we have a meeting, and you have to call me Mr. President. And if you don't, then we don't send the shells. Like that type of shit. It's dumb.
Well,
We should just be sending them everything. We did this with the British, man.
And
And just like with the British, one more thing with the British.
you're gonna
I
fight
promise
another
I'll
couple
stop.
years.
I
Hold on.
promise I'll stop after this. But like one more thing with the British history, okay? Telling Zelensky that he has to wear a suit. Winston motherfucking Churchill came to the United States, came to the White House wearing a flight suit. It's basically like a jumpsuit. That's what he was wearing. Winston curmudgeon looks like a fucking bulldog Churchill. That guy.
Yep.
We'll never surrender. We will fight on the shores. We'll fight in the fields. And fuck that, I'm not wearing a suit. Where's my brandy? That's what Churchill did.
Because
So
we
I
all
like I
know.
don't want to hear this thing about, oh, it's about respect. Dude, Winston Churchill in the height of the biggest conflict we have ever known didn't wear a suit.
Because we all know the importance of propaganda. We all know that. And so, him showing the world that he is at war by being in more of a casual, like, attire versus being in a suit as if to say, this is nothing but things that gentlemen can handle. Like, we know the power of the media. We've seen it. Yes, he needs to show up showing that his country is fighting in the trenches right now, not in a suit, what, to make everybody happy? I don't care. Churchill damn sure didn't care.
Have to have decorum while there's bombs being dropped on overhead. Like,
Decorum. Have we seen what that Oval Office looks like? Fucking
right.
Christ. Like, we agree, Davey. Open up the toy box and do the thing. Like, I'm tired of this, like, we'll see. This is the same conversation we've had forever. This is what Putin wants. He wants stalling so that he can build up his military again and do this again. We have seen him do this when he invaded Georgia. We've seen him do this when he invaded Crimea. Like, he does this every few years where he's like, yeah, ceasefire, and stalls to build his military back up and go in again. What's going to change, Davey? What's Trump doing makes us any different? Besides taking advice from him about our elections. That's going well.
I assume Davey doesn't know he's muted.
Yeah, I invited him to unmute. You are muted, Davey. You have to click the little microphone button. There you go.
I want to give peace a chance. I want to give this mediation a chance. You all don't seem to want to. You have this fantasy that Ukraine is going to defeat Russia on the battlefield,
Not
and
what
it's
we
just
said.
not going to happen.
It
We
was
tried it with the summer offensive. How did it go? It was a complete
We've
and
already gone
dismal
over that.
failure.
It was happening. I don't understand. Like, I don't want to give peace a chance. We want peace, but I would like peace without acceding to a dictator's rule and giving him land that is not his. And
What-
we know, again, from his rhetoric, he is not going to stop. He wants the USSR back together.
Hey, what happened when Russia tried to put missiles in Cuba?
That was called the Cuban Missile Crisis. Do you know why they
Right.
did that?
Because they didn't want Russia at our border.
No.
No.
Do you know why Russia did that? Do you know why they tried to put missiles in Cuba? Do you know what prompted that?
So they could get an early strike on us.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's crazy how I wasn't even born when the USSR existed, and I know this.
You guys
It's
are
because
watching
we
it.
put missiles in Turkey.
That's correct.
So they responded by trying to put missiles in Cuba.
And what did we say?
thankfully, JFK was a charming bastard and managed to talk him out of it. And also, we took the missiles out of out of Turkey.
Well, and JFK didn't listen to his warmongering conservative fucking cabinet who said, let's just fucking attack them, because that's what they
Well,
were
he
trying
said
to do.
he sent warships out to intercept the Russian ships, and he threatened to attack and destroy the missiles in Cuba. Basically, my point is, we didn't want Russia on our border, but you want
We started
Russia.
it. We
you
started
want,
it.
You want Russia to accept our NATO troops on its border.
Do you want to know
already
why
has
I
NATO
expect
on its
Russia
border.
to accept that?
Okay, why?
What if I told you that NATO has been on Russia's border since the start?
Okay.
NATO was founded when? Is it 49? It's either 49 or 47. I always forget.
Right,
I mix it up
after
with
the war.
CIA.
48.
So, of the founding nations, Norway is one of them.
Okay.
Norway touches Russia.
Okay. You're going to compare the threat that a land invasion from Norway versus an invasion from Ukraine. Come on.
No.
What
You're
is NATO going
saying-
to do in
You're
Norway?
saying he doesn't want NATO surrounding him.
Right.
NATO already has been surrounding him. And don't know if you know this, if he takes all of Ukraine, NATO is still surrounding him.
Okay. He doesn't want it in the heart of Russia.
Why
in the
do I
heart
give a
of
fuck?
Russia.
Why do I
Who
care?
cares?
Well, I'm just telling you. When we didn't want Russians in the heart of the
you
Western
were
Hemisphere.
you were in here. You were definitely in the box when Matt and Artie talked about what his actual goal was. He wants to restore, quote unquote, restore the glory of the Soviet Union. He
Okay,
doesn't
fine.
care. It doesn't. It has the whole thing about NATO being on his borders is just an excuse.
Okay, fine. You know what? Any other Russian leader would want the same thing.
What?
That's their goal. That's their mindset. You're not going to change it.
Huh, well, Gorbachev didn't seem to think so.
Well, what happened to him?
I mean, he's still alive.
He's alive.
I don't know what happened. He's no longer in power.
Yeah, what happened to Gorbachev?
Or-
Well, he's. I mean, he's old as fuck,
But
but
he
I'm
retired.
pretty sure he's still
No,
around.
he died in 2022.
Oh, damn.
He's gone.
Ah.
But
in
But
any
it was
case,
it was of old age, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, no,
It,
yeah.
it wasn't a
Mostly
catching
no.
a case of, oops, there's a window. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, he didn't get that one. But like, what do you mean? What happened? Like, that's not everybody's goal. That's Putin's goal, but that's not everybody's goal.
you know, Putin, they say, Russian experts say he's not even the far right in Russia. He's actually middle of the road for some of these really hardcore
he's not.
Russian nationalists.
No, he's not. NATO-Russia Founding Act. They agreed to expansion. Ooh. Let's see. Establish a framework for cooperation between NATO and Russia and the Euro-Atlantic and aim to build a lasting and inclusive peace by fostering a partnership based on shared principles. So they were trying to move beyond being in the Cold Era. So yeah, they agreed that it was okay.
Yep.
It didn't prevent NATO from expanding, didn't allow them veto power in it. So, and I also wouldn't give a fuck.
Davey, do you read past headlines?
I try to. If it's interesting.
If it's interesting. Let me find that.
I mean, I'm a total history nerd, so this is very interesting to me. Cold War history is really interesting.
Anyway, I have to go, but I appreciate the opportunity to talk.
I appreciate you being civil, Davey. I would urge you to watch any fucking Netflix documentary on World War II and appeasement, and even there's a lot of nice documentaries about the Cold War too. You can look up if you don't want to read, because some people don't want to read, and that's okay. But Netflix has a lot of really, really good documentaries on the Cold War and on World War II. I watched them all. Some of them I've watched multiple times. Wow. What in the fun house is happening in your background?
Right. Are you at a carnival?
My God. I just don't understand the Russian simping. Red Scare was a thing, and I hated the Red Scare, but like also maybe we need a little bit of it back.
Like we rubber band all the way over to the other way.
We executed a couple, but I guess. Zio, or Z0, whatever your name is, how are you today? Hello? Zoo. Yes, let's see. I was trying to look for the paragraph, final paragraph. Let's see if this is the right one, Audie. I might be reading the wrong one. The founding act with Russia has been negotiated and will be concluded on its own merits. It is not meant as a compensation. It does not delay, limit, or dilute NATO's opening for the accession of new members, and it will not relegate any new NATO member to second-class status. Russia signed that in 1997. So, granted, 2 years before Putin took his power, but they signed it.
Yep.
Also, I wouldn't care. Even if they didn't, and Putin was like, well, I don't want Russia near me. I don't care. Why are we caring what a dictator says? He wants.
Right. It's wild that they keep using that as a justification.
Like, you're just scared. You're scared of the big boom boom. And I get it. I understand it. But that was kind of the point of the mutually assured destruction thing, is that it would be the end for all of us. So, like Matt was pointing out earlier, oligarchs like their money. Don't know if you know this. They like their money and their control. You can't spend your money and enjoy your money if you're dead. Zoo is back. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. So I just want to say that I think it's very funny how
Are you in the United
Western.
States?
No, I'm not. That's the thing. I just wanna.
Yeah, so then I probably really don't care then. Like, really, really don't care. I have enough Russian simping happening from United States citizens. I don't need it from whatever Eastern country you're in. Don't need it.
Bro really came up here with the. I just think it's funny how
You wanted to give a Russian point of view. In the affirmative? For Russia?
Wait, let me look at this guy's profile picture. Oh,
What is that? Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah. Clearly, you're going to have a very level-headed and objective take on Vladimir Putin and Zelensky. Clearly.
indeed.
No, you're not coming back up. Go away.
Zoo, just so you know, Vladimir Putin is estimated to be 5'6". Yes, really.
Yeah, he's very small. You know it's bad when Trump is taller than him, and Trump's not taller than anybody. So
Hey, I'm taller than. That means I'm taller than him. I'm 5'7".
I saw you go through that one day with Erica and Matt. You were just bringing up all the pictures of him standing next to people.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, like, in fairness, Zelensky's also pretty short.
Yeah.
But I don't know, he carries it well. Zelensky's got swag. He's got aura.
True. 358 people in here. Let's boop that screen up to 50,000 likes. I would appreciate it. Share the live if you're not. If you have not done your daily heart me, please do so. If you're not following Nemo or Blue, you should be. And if you're not gifting them, what are you doing? We are getting good information here. Sub only. Oh, so I'll go to sub only if we don't hit 50 in the next. I don't know how long to give them. I don't do those things, Audie. I'm not used to that. I don't know. I just try to be nice and say boop the screen, please. And if you are a Trump supporter, come up and tell me why you're still supporting Trump. It doesn't have to be about Russia specifically, but we can talk about Russia. We can talk about anything. I'm just kind of tired of the fucking immigration topic because I own you every single time because you don't know the law, because you don't care to know the law. But it's all you guys have really is immigration. And now I'm just bringing this up for the fact that I don't see why you're not outraged that we had Marines putting down a red carpet for a fucking dictator. It's wild to me that you're still supporting this man who's not doing anything for you. Don't get it. What are we doing here?
Trump is the goat. I mean, he eats like one.
He does eat like one. I don't know. He'd get more fiber if he ate like a goat, probably.
True.
No, you're right, Stormy. They don't care as long as they're hurting people that don't look like them. That's what they want. Can you guys hear my cat purring?
Yep.
He's a velociraptor. Like, he sounds like the velociraptors in Jurassic Park.
You know, I had to sit there and like mentally replay the raptor scene in my head and be like, wait a second, did they make any kind of purr adjacent noise? Or is she saying that the cat makes like
Oh, they do make
noises?
purr.
Like,
They do the
what?
little growl. They have the little growl, the little rumble growl.
Yeah, their little like growl noise when they're like exactly what he sounds like.
Of course, they're the raptors in Jurassic Park are actually Utah raptors. They just call them velociraptors.
Because velociraptors were the size of turkeys.
Yeah.
Very tiny. Let's see. D-Day. Nope. No D-Day? No, you don't want to? Your cat used to talk back. I have vocal cats. They like to talk and yell. That's why I had to let him in. He was yelling at my door.
Chris, the Toronto. They were not Toronto Raptors.
Utah Raptors.
Honestly, though, like,
Quetzal, what's that one? Quetzalcoatlus. That one.
Yeah.
They found in Mexico.
honestly, like, even if the velociraptor was tiny, like size of a turkey, dude, I'm scared of a goose. Okay,
Oh, they
like
would still
a
mess
goose,
us up.
a modern day goose is enough to like be like, nope, fuck this. I'm going away. Nope, not today, Satan. If you put teeth on that thing and make it a little bit bigger, yeah, no,
Have you seen the inside of a goose's mouth?
Oh yeah.
no.
It's horrifying.
If you're already scared of them, maybe don't Google it. But it's
Yes,
really
do not look.
it kind of
It-
looks like a cat's tongue, but like inside of a mouth. It's very
God.
scary.
I left my house and one hissed at me, and I was like, "Well, I'm just gonna go back inside for the rest of the day."
Travelers, have I ever seen a peacock in the wild? No, but both of my zoos had peacocks that they just let roam around. The ones at the Denver Zoo we moved because people wouldn't leave them alone, so they are now at the zoo, the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo in the Springs, and they just walk around. They just walk around the zoo. They don't do
They
anything.
do that at the Memphis Zoo as well.
Just peacocks. You can make a peacock noise, Adriana. Good. 300 people in here and you all agree with me? I mean, I'm glad. I guess we're moving somewhere. Hopefully the midterms will turn out well because you all agree with me and aren't supporting Trump. I appreciate that. Because I don't know how you're defending him. The shoe bill bird. Yeah. No, I've seen him. He's terrifying. Birds are scary.
The shoebill stork.
They're scary.
That thing is, and it's like it's nice. It's like supposedly like it's super nice to humans, but it is
are they
terrifying
like,
looking.
they're like fine being around humans and stuff?
Yeah.
Unlike the cassowary. Cassowaries are beautiful, but they are mean.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Yeah. Cassowaries are dinosaurs for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't know. I was watching this. I know this is not related to politics at all, but I was watching something about the fact that, like, you know, we all have the conversation about how dinosaurs became birds. And I guess some of that's true, some of it isn't. I guess it depends on whether they are like warm-blooded or cold-blooded. Like there's this whole conversation between that in way of dinosaurs. I was like, that's interesting. Did not know that.
I mean, generally speaking, birds are dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Just when it comes down to it.
Let's see.
Yeah, there's this one bird I found out about, and
Hey guys,
what's up?
What's up? You a Trump supporter?
yeah, I just want to know why it's bad. That's it.
Why?
What
What's
is that?
that?
Cassowaries?
It says why you still supporting Trump.
What state did you vote in?
Texas,
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay. No, I'm asking you why you're still supporting him. Like what policy, what piece of legislation? Why are you putting Kamala on?
Well, I just really like Kamala, that's why.
No, you don't. You voted for Trump.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
We're not doing it. No. I don't know what that was, but no.
Fine. I'll probably just end up ending early and have lunch early because that would be nice. I could do that. If these people don't want to come up. Hector.
Hi, yeah, he wasn't from fucking Texas. I just came up here to ask him what time it was here.
I know what. I'm just bad about the time because I know you guys get like multiple time zones in Texas, don't you?
Yeah, 2, I think. I'm here in Central, and I think if you go further enough, I don't know what side I'm directionally challenged. Yeah, but yeah.
I have mountains for that, so I can tell which way is east and west. It's very nice.
I need to do that. That I need to do.
The great thing about Colorado, I'll never get lost. Where are the mountains?
All right, y'all. Get the likes up to like 100K before anything else happens. What are we doing? I'm dropping back now.
Bye, Hector.
So this is a bird that I think should be in everybody's life because it's fucking adorable and looks like a dragon. So that's cool. This is called the
I love that bird.
the great-eared nightjar. Like, yeah.
It's toothless.
Yeah.
Oh my
Adorable little
god.
thing. But yeah, it's a real bird.
If it weren't for the fact that you can't have wild animals like that, I would own him. But he needs to live where he lives. Oh my god, that's so cute. They have massive mouth. They look like they're related. They almost look related to the what is it, like the frogmouth bird? They kind of look related to them. Does Nemo know about the Carter postage stamp? Are they making a Jimmy Carter postage stamp? Because I need to get them then. Yes, they're doing a new Forever stamp.
Oh boy.
Well, I gotta go buy a book of stamps. October 1st. Oh, which would have been his 101st birthday.
Oh.
Putting that on my calendar.
That's awesome.
Also, C19 and flu is going around. Yeah. Vaccinate your kids. Please. My kids start school literally tomorrow. Please vaccinate your kids. If you are in Colorado, I know that we do not have a lot of regulation regarding vaccinations. You're allowed to get out of it very easily. We actually, for being a blue state, really have bad rates for vaccinations. Please get your kids vaccinated. We also have measles going across where like Grand Junction is right now and near DIA because of the influx of traffic, obviously, from the airport. Please, 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 please vaccinate. From GOP Spawn, you're in the hell state. You and Blue are in Tennessee. I don't know what to tell you.
It's not by choice.
I know. I'm so sorry. What's funny is me and my husband thought about moving there because he has family there and because of the cost of living. But I was also like, but it's fucking Tennessee. I told him he has to drag me out of Colorado by my cold dead fingers because I'm not leaving. Nemo has to stay in Georgia so that he can move Georgia blue.
Damn right.
Is to stay there. Yeah, Chris, you're in Idaho. I'm so sorry. Colorado's just expensive, but you know, we're here. It's fine. I chose Manny, not Tennessee. Cries in Florida. Chicky, you got to get out of there. And then I told you we could do the Bugs Bunny thing where we just saw off Florida and let it go. We get to see prairie dogs. Yes, we have prairie dogs. I forget that other people don't have prairie dogs. Our prairie dogs carry the bubonic plague, though. So as cute as they are, please, if you're here, do not pet the prairie dogs. They carry the plague. Don't do that. I know
Yeah,
that.
Chicky, we're both gonna get out of our red states.
Mm-hmm. Or you'll just turn them. You can do it. I believe in you. Those are harder states. Florida could move. I think Florida could move.
Tennessee would have to vote. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, I have hope for Georgia turning blue again in a relatively short period of time. Not so much with Tennessee. Tennessee's kind of bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild because it was blue in my lifetime.
Means they can move. Like, I mean, Colorado used to be purple. We were very purple. We're not purple now.
Like after Al Gore lost, like Tennessee just gave up.
Cole, you're looking at Pueblo. I mean, it's better than Texas, but it's fucking Pueblo. It's very red. I mean, I can't say anything. I have Gabe Evans, because we were the newest district to be added in Colorado, and we have Gabe Evans, but he didn't win by very much, so we're working on that. I know, Pueblo. That's like somebody asked me about Windsor, and they're like, how conservative is Windsor? I was like, oh, you guys have Boebert. So it's not like, I don't think people realize, it is cheap. It is cheap. Blue is the only 10 I see, Josiah. Poor little baby. Yeah, help change Adams County. That's what we're trying to do out here, Josiah. That's what we are trying to do. I am actively working to support the campaign to get rid of Gabe Evans. The man has not held a town hall at all. You can't reach him. He is unreachable. And he likes to send me bullshit emails about the things he is doing that are lies. So it's really fun. So that's what we're working on, which is what I do advocate for when I go for these conversations, guys, is to make sure you are looking at your down ballot races. Look at your congressmen and women, look at your senators, look at your school boards locally. Make sure you are not letting people get in that don't have your best interest at heart. I literally, this last election for school board, had 3 separate people who were linked to Moms for Liberty trying to get on our school board. All 3 of them had children. None of their children were in our district. So, yeah, we were able to keep them off of the school board, luckily. But what that takes is work. Like was on Facebook groups. I was on TikTok. I'm on Instagram, like promoting like, hey, this is who this person is, this is who they're linked to and what they want, and their kids don't even go here. And they were for school choice. They said they weren't going to move their kids to this district, so their money wasn't coming here. Like, why would you be in charge of a district you're not even willing to put your kids into? Absolutely not. I refuse. No. So make sure you guys are paying attention to your down ballot races. 2026 is coming. Some states have special elections before that, so don't forget that. There's, stuff in November, stuff next year, but we are really working towards 2026. That's where we're going.
I'm terrified. If Marsha Blackburn becomes governor of Tennessee, like, the fault line that we've been sitting on all this time is finally going to shift, and the entire state is just going to sink into the ground. Like, it's going to be over.
Yeah. They wanted
Marsha
to.
Blackburn is like, she's like that stereotype of a Southern, like an old Southern woman, like a really bitter one, that just is like, bless your heart, but with more N-words. And like, she just concentrated bigotry.
She sits on, she sits on multiple like technology panel or committees, and she has a bachelor's in home economics. That's it.
MB asked, is Boulder and or Colorado Springs typically more expensive than Denver? Boulder is probably equivalent, if not probably a little more expensive than Denver. The Springs, it's going to depend on where you're at. It's kind of reaching Denver standards, but it's still cheaper because it's farther out. But they're starting to get expensive there now too. Yeah, the Springs will be cheaper for sure than Denver. And Denver's surrounding areas, right? Like, I grew up in Aurora, and Aurora used to be a lot cheaper than it was. That's why we had to move so far out. That's why I am in Commerce City now, because I couldn't afford to live in Aurora anymore, even though I grew up there, and that's sad. All right, I am not seeing. Well, I've got some people in the box, but I don't know if they're Trump supporters. Let's check. I'll know your hometown. I'm more on the Reunion side of Commerce City, though. Not the other side. You keep trying to invite Ruben, and he just is not having it. How about FOCO? I don't know how expensive FOCO has gotten. I'm not sure. It's college town, so... All right. Well, I'm over it. I'm going to go eat and end early. Nemo, I appreciate you being on. You are welcome anytime to come wallop them with history, as we both had flashbacks, because I can't. I don't know what we're doing. What did Ukraine do for us, Nemo? God. Blue, I love you, friend. And you're always welcome on my panel, especially because I don't have my work wife right now because she actually has a job. So
Poor thing.
I hate it. So I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. 2-1. I think I got it before you did, Adi. I will be back tomorrow, Thursday, anywhere between 9:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you. I think we'll try and run this back around again. They seemed pretty triggered by this one, so we'll keep working on that. If you guys are not following me, please do so. If you check my tree of links in my bio, I do post my lives, usually the next day, sometimes day of, depending on if I have time on YouTube. So you can, if you've missed anything or you want to rewatch a certain section, I will have those posted for you. That is in my bio. Also have a Discord. There's a little bit of a verification, but if you want to get in the Discord, we have a live chat for when I'm live and we can talk about all the things. You can come in and do that. I also have my Instagram where I post my content as well. So if you guys want to reach out to any of those, you absolutely can. I appreciate you guys. And we will be back tomorrow. Like I said, 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you. Do the stupid time zone thing. I can't even. Guys, make sure you're drinking water, taking care of yourselves, touching grass, spending time with your family, but also make sure you are critically thinking and researching. Make sure you're reading past the headline and double checking. Headlines are secondary sources, not primary. Look for those primary sources, not from the horse's mouth, but from data, actual data collection. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.